Are you, are you guys seeing me? You guys see me or not? Hmm. What the hell? Well, I, I don't know what just happened there because I hit the go live button and apparently you guys haven't, you didn't see me. Um, yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. I've been talking to myself for like over 5 minutes now. So I apologize for that. Um, I hit the go live button. I don't know why I didn't go live. So, yeah, apologize, guys. Sorry about that. Uh, okay. Well, we'll do a quick recap. Because wow, that sucks. That's unfortunate. I don't know. Okay, anyway. Um, so I'll just do a quick recap. Um, okay, so for the news, we're going to talk about Robinhood and Dogecoin and Michael Burry. And today for analysis, we're going to be doing XELA, MRIN, BLIN, ATHE, and MEDS. And then, of course, we're going to do our Yolos. Yeah, bad way to start the show. I don't know what happened there. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulties. But we're good now. Damn, it's hot. So, okay. Let's try this again. Gonna run down here. Okay. So, AMC down 4.34%. Haven't been hearing much about that lately. That's been consolidating. Still number one talked about stock on stock twits every single day. But, you know, no crazy price action for AMC of late. But that's down 4.34% today. ALF's down 4.76%. That was trending last week, but no one really cares anymore. But that's been pulling back. Yeah, ATHE was green today, and I believe it was red. I can't really remember, but I think in the pre-market and this morning it was red, and then ran all the way back up. Interesting stuff there. Bed Bath & Beyond down 2%. Bio-Nanogenomics down 7%. Wow, that's pretty bad. Clover down 7.43%. But as long as that finishes above 11, I don't really care. I'm good there. Coinbase down 4.68%. Okay, what else we got here? DoorDash, that keeps on running. DoorDash up 1.27%. Express, that's up 5.08%. GME's down 4.57%. Yeah, it looks like the meme stock's not doing too hot. Not doing too well today. A few of them are, but not really. Is it bullish for ATHE to hold above 620? Let's take a look at ATHE. I don't really have too much support and resistance drawn here. There is one right here, though. Well, you know, there is this gap down at like 720, so you know, that's probably going to fill at some point. It might fill pretty soon. But sorry, there's a siren coming. I'm just going to talk over it. But you know, the RSI's at 57, so That's pretty standard, pretty average. The volume's coming back down to normal. So, just based on that, it seems like pretty fair value here. But it should pull back a little bit more. But generally, all these biotech stocks are being held up, especially today, this week. But today I'll talk about this a little bit later. But I shorted NTLA and CERE today, and they went absolutely nowhere. I was up a little bit of money in the morning, and then they came all the way back, like down. They were down like 5% at one point. Came all the way back up to like 10%. I'm like, what the hell is this? Manipulation much? So I don't want to cry conspiracy theory, but it seems like all these biotech stocks are being held up. just an observation. Because I thought I was going to make some money today, and I didn't. Yeah, Zakaria thinks it's bullish. Yeah, I don't think ATOS has too much more room to go down. Maybe to 5. But, yeah, gap up here. But it does seem like ATOS, like the big pullback is pretty much over. It might come back down to 5. I really don't think it's coming below 5. Okay, what else we got here? Costs, that's down 5.68%. Got Marathon down 2.17%. Metamaterial down 2.67%. MicroStrategy down 2.05%. Micron, this has been trending on Wall Street Bets. This and AMD have been mentioned a lot on Wall Street Bets. Micron's down 5.73% today. That's pretty nasty. Neo pulling back. That's down 4.32%. Nikola down 5.92%. What else we got here? Palantir. Wow. Palantir down 6.22%. Good. Yeah, I sold Palantir at $27.50. Like literally the high. So very glad about that. I would have been holding a bag of shiz, of crap. Not saying the stock is bad. Not saying Palantir is bad. I was done with it. I was out of there. Yeah, low roller. We're gonna talk about meds, MEDS. We're gonna talk about that one today. CPOP. We're not gonna talk about that one, but I did see that. Really can't. I don't want to short it, and you can't analyze it because I think it just IPO'd like today or yesterday. So only 2 days of trading. So I really don't want to take a position in that one. That can go anywhere. But yeah, we're gonna talk about MEDS. I'm probably gonna go for that one tomorrow, but we'll talk about that. Okay, we got Roblox down 4.62%. Recon down 3%. Ride, Lordstown Motors, that's down 6.42%. Riot down 3.88%. Roku down 5.13%. Skills down 6.12%. Yeah, meme stock's not doing really well today. Sundial Growers down 3%. SoFi, SoFi down 4.8%. Everyone on Wall Street Bets threw their life savings in SoFi. I guess the market makers are going to win this time. They're probably, keeping the price down so they don't have to pay out those calls. I don't want to cry conspiracy, but a little bit suspicious. Virgin Galactic down 6.11%. That keeps on pulling back. Got Tilray down 1.36%. Tesla's pretty sideways, down 0.26%. UWMC down 2.72%. Yeah, Walgreens, wow. I did see something in the news about Walgreens. I forget what, but that's down 7.41%. That's a lot for, like a blue chip stock. What's going on with Walgreens? Wow. Workhorse down 5.73%. Wow, Wish is down 7.06%. Yeah, meme stock's doing really, really bad today. You wonder if that guy that YOLO'd 2 million in the SoFi sold. Well, logically that'd be smart, but we're talking about apes here. Apes don't know what the sell button is. They just hold. They diamond hands. Diamond hands. Oh wait, no, this one's more appropriate.
With diamond hands, they knew they'd profit if they could only hold.
Yeah, so that's the stock market today. All the indexes were green, but very deceiving because looks like there's more red than green. Well, equal amount, but there's a lot of red. So, all the indexes being green, that's pretty deceiving. But yeah, that's the stock market today. Not the worst, but could have been a lot better. I made a little bit of money today, nothing too crazy. But yeah, I shorted CERE and I shorted NTLA, and I lost a little bit of money there. I was up a couple $100, and then NTLA was down like 7%, came all the way back, and I got squeezed out at 169. That's what I bought in at. So that was break even there. And CERE, I was in at 2650, and that was down in the red like 4%, and that came all the way back, to like plus 6-7%. So I don't know what's going on with these biotech stocks, especially they both announced offerings too, and when they announce offerings, stocks go down, but these things just keep pumping up, and I'm like, myself and everyone on Stock Twits is like, what's going on here? Manipulation. Again, don't want to cry conspiracy, but it's very, very suspicious. Meanwhile, B Square keeps tanking. I should have just stayed in that one. Yeah, like, everything in my portfolio was red, except the things I shorted, which were green, of course. Yeah, low roller. Dogecoin save Robinhood. Yeah, we're going to get to that. Got an article about that. He's looking to sell off and get into CLF. Well, yeah, one meme stock to another. That's how the apes roll. Nike keeps going up. What's Nike at? Yeah, it does keep going up. It's at all-time high. RSI is at 78. So, overvalued. I think the gap is going to fill. Huge gap up from 135. This is going to come back down eventually. This is not sustainable. I don't think. Anyway, yeah, that's the stock market for today. Let's move on to crypto. Yeah, low roller. Nvidia and AMD and Micron, they're all mooning, and especially AMD and Micron. Those Wall Street bets are on those. Not so much Nvidia, but you know I see a lot of stuff about AMD and a lot of stuff about Micron on Wall Street bets. So interesting, and they're very overbought at the moment. But yeah, they keep going up. But they're not meme stocks. You know, they're legitimate companies. So and it was kind of overdue because you know tech was in a correction for a couple months there, so finally coming back up. What do I think about CLF? Let's take a look at CLF. Well, this seems to be pretty fair value. You know, RSI is at 56. The volume seems to be pretty normal. So this seems to be pretty fair value, market value, according to the technicals. Right now it's between 23 and 20. It's trading between 23 and 20. The rectangle, the sideways channel. So this might come back down to 20, and that would probably be a good entry point. It is trading near the all-time high, but according to the technicals, this seems to be pretty fair value. As for the company itself, I can't comment on that. Really don't know too much about the fundamentals. All I know is the apes really like this one. So, I would say if this comes back down to 20, that seems like a pretty good price. And if it keeps pulling back, then you could load up even more. You know, got 1940. 1860, 1770, 1640, 15, 1440, and 1330 is what I got here. But yeah, I would say 20 seems like a pretty fair price. Did I hear Elon Musk tweet about baby Doge? I did see him tweet something about, maybe it was baby Doge, but maybe it was the Doge killer. That's another one, Doge killer or something like that. Someone called Dogecoin fake, and then Elon Musk just laughed about it. I did see something like that. Earnings at the end of the month, so that probably means that all the apes are going to start piling in, you know, buy the rumor, and then sell the news, except the apes aren't going to sell the news. But, you know, the smart money will. They're going to sell the news, but that's what always happens. Big catalyst coming up for a meme stock. Everyone gets excited, piles in, stock runs up, catalyst comes. So maybe you can make a play on CLF that way, you know. Buy the rumor, sell the news, not financial advice. All right, let's take a look at crypto. So crypto is down 4.82% today. Bitcoin pulling back, that's down 4.55%. Ether down 6.57%. Everything's pretty much red. Binance down 4.47%. Cardano down 4%. Dogecoin down 4%. Ripple, XRP down 4%. Polkadot down 6.7%. Bitcoin Cash down 5.7%. Litecoin down 4.7%. Chainlink down 6.8%. Everything is red. ICP 8.5%. Ether Classic 8%. Is anything green? No. Maker. That's green. Not too much is green here. So, not the worst day for crypto, but pretty much everything is in the red today. So, not the greatest day for crypto. All right, let's get to the news. Okay, so we got some news about Robinhood and Dogecoin. Robinhood says Dogecoin accounted for 34% of crypto revenue in Q1. Robinhood said in its IPO prospectus on Thursday that 17% of transaction-based revenue in the latest quarter came from cryptocurrencies, up from 4% a year earlier. That's a lot. That's like, a fifth of their revenue came from crypto. So, yeah, other brokerages need to jump on that. The retail really likes crypto now, and Robinhood, that's one thing they did do well. You can trade crypto on Robinhood. Every other brokerage you can't. And you would expect from better brokerages like TD, Fidelity, IBKR, you would expect them to have crypto to compete. Within the crypto business, 34% of revenue came from Dogecoin transactions. The company included a specific risk factor related to Dogecoin. So, yeah, 20% or 17%, almost a fifth of their revenue comes from crypto. And of that 20%, a third of that came from Dogecoin. So, yeah, just like you said, Low Roller, Dogecoin is really helping Robinhood out. Why today the funeral for meme stocks? Well, Joe, good timing, because that's a good segue into our next article. Give me 1 second as I pull that up. This might answer your question, possibly. Let's read this one. Michael Burry reportedly says Reddit favored meme stocks will crash as new money dries up. Big Short investor Michael Burry believes Reddit favored meme stocks are set to crash like the .com and housing market bubbles of previous decades, Barron's reported. We're running out of new money available to jump on the bandwagon, Burry told Barron's. Burry was one of the first investors to spot and profit from the subprime mortgage crisis. So yeah, this guy Michael Burry, pretty famous now. He got famous from the Big Short, in 08. He bet that everything was coming down. He ended up being right. That's how he became a billionaire. Got a movie made about him, The Big Short with Christian Bale and Steve Carell. Steve Carell played Michael Burry. And actually, this is ironic because Michael Burry made a killing off of GME. He was in he had a 10 or 20% stake in GME. I forget what it was, but it was absurd. He had a huge position in GME before, the whole GME mania, before deep effing value and the whole Wall Street bets thing. Michael Burry saw it before everyone. So he rode the wave up, and I guess he's out now. And then recently, he came out saying Tesla's going down, and then he revealed a huge put position in Tesla. So, and he's always constantly on Twitter. So, yeah, pretty famous guy. And he tends to be right a lot of the time. So, love him or hate him. A lot of apes don't like him anymore. But, he tends to know what he's talking about. He's been doing this a long time. So people should at least consider what he's saying. So, this could be foreshadowing what's to come. Meme stocks could be going down. I certainly hope not. But this could be the end of meme stocks pretty soon, according to Burry and everyone else on CNBC, every boomer. This doesn't make sense. Eventually, fundamentals will catch up. And, eventually, probably yes, but it's a matter of when. Okay, Low Roller, we can take a look at that article. The new money dried up since they YOLO'd their money. Yeah, exactly. You know, there's only so much money that can go into meme stocks. So it seems like the meme mania is dying down. Well, we had meme mania round one back in January, and then recently we had meme mania round two, like last month. So honestly, yeah, meme stocks might be pulling back, but they're not done. They will have their day again. So you know, be ready for meme mania round three. When the meme stocks go down, not financial advice, load up. That's the time to load up. And then what? Hodl, diamond hands. Burry has been wrong as much as right. Well, no, I'm sure he's been wrong, but yeah, when he's been right, you know, he's made a ton of money on it, especially with the big short with the in '08 and on GME. So he's set for life. Yeah, Burry he bought puts on Tesla, and I'm not sure if he cashed out. He probably did, but he was right on that one too. Or maybe, you know, the market makers had to take it down, had to take Tesla down because Burry had such a big position in Tesla on the put side. But yeah, you know, whether you agree or disagree, he's a big voice in the investment community, and you know, people should consider what he's saying. So this is not a popular opinion, but you know, should definitely keep an eye out for this. He could be right. All right, low roller. Let's take a look at this thing you sent me. Well, I can't read the article because I don't have an account, but I'll read this at the top. Robinhood reveals rising revenue and a $1.4 billion loss. How? Okay. The stock trading app unveiled its initial public offering prospectus on Thursday, pulling back the curtain on its financial performance for the first time. Okay. So they've been losing money this whole time? Is that right? Are they even profitable? Have they ever been profitable? That's pretty bad. That's not good. That must be pretty bearish news. How can they be in the negative? That doesn't really make sense to me. Um, I mean, I know they don't charge commission. Well, they get commission on the options, but they make money by selling the order flow to the hedge funds. So, and the hedge funds pay them millions, I think billions, maybe not billions, but millions of dollars for that. So, that is interesting. That doesn't sound right. They should be net positive. Red flags. A lot of red flags going off there. Yeah. Personally, I don't like Robinhood. No, I couldn't scroll down low roller. I don't have a New York Times account. Yeah. That's pretty alarming. That should send off some red flags because up to this point, they seemed like they were doing really well financially, and now it's public that they're not. So that should hurt their IPO stock price. But thanks for sharing that, man. Yeah, everyone knows. Well, not everyone, but a lot of people know that Robinhood is a bad brokerage, a shady brokerage. So you know, every week, every day, it seems like something new is coming out about Robinhood, and it's never good either. There's nothing ever good about Robinhood coming out. But people don't seem to care. People seem to they seem to forgive Robinhood eventually. All right. So that's the news for today. Let's get to the analysis. Okay, so the first one XELA, Exela Technologies. We've been talking about this one for a couple days now. I think 2 days, past 2 days. So this is still trending on StockTwits. I think this was number 2 most talked about stock after AMC. Honestly, don't know why. I don't see the hype behind it. Well, I understand that, it's a low float stock, and this is the next big squeeze. Apparently, the next Torchlight, the next MRIN, the next AMC. It's supposed to be. But nothing has happened yet. I mean, it did come up from 150, but it's been pulling back. But all the apes, all the StockTwits apes, they've been diamond handing this. They've been holding. So who knows? This might moon pretty soon. But anyway. So right now it's so this finishes at $2.12 today. That's down 11.3%. Yeah, everyone's screaming it's gonna moon, and then it comes down 11%. Nasty stuff. So yeah, right now it's sitting on the support of about 215. It's at 212, so yeah, sitting on the support at 215. So if this goes to the downside, next level of support would be $2, 170, and then 150, and then 130, and then $1. But I highly doubt this is going below 150. Although it did gap up at 150. So eventually, the gaps usually do fill. So this might come back down to 150. And if this goes to the upside, next level of resistance would be 250, 280, 320, 360, 410, 460, 550, $6, and then the all-time high of 782. So, really not too much has changed from what I said yesterday. Just looking at the chart, it looks like there's there's not too much downside potential. This really shouldn't pull back too much. Like, the most it should go back is down to 150. I highly doubt it's going to go below 150, but if it does, highly doubt this is going below $1. Like, that is the low, 99 cents. So there's not too much room to pull back. But to the upside, there's a lot of room to run, and the channels are very wide, so a lot of upside potential here, not too much downside potential. Not financial advice. The RSI is at 64. So this wasn't overbought, overvalued territory for the past couple of days. But after today, after an 11.3% pullback, the RSI is finally coming down. So it's no longer in overbought, overvalued territory. But at 64, that's still pretty high up there. And the volume has come down significantly. Very significantly. Past 2 days, we got 400 million volume, 450 million volume. And today, way down. Today, we only got 87 million volume, which is still a lot, for this stock. But compared to the last 2 trading days, really, a really big drop off in volume. So, so the volume is probably going to continue to pull back, unless this pulls an MRIN, which we'll talk about in a second. BLIN stock, yeah, Chase Cross. We're gonna talk about BLIN. After this one, we're gonna do MRIN, and then we're gonna do BLIN. So we'll get to that. Go looking at your ATHE calls. ATHE. Let's take a look at ATHE. I mean, honestly, if you bought them down here, that seems like a good play. Not financial advice, but you know, if you bought it after this gap down, diamond hands, and you should be okay. Cause right now it's really undervalued. Really oversold, really undervalued. RSI's at 25. So, you know, unless you're getting IV crushed, what are the that's probably why. I just looked at the options. The implied volatility is pretty high. You see here 132%, 113%, 95%, 99%. So you probably bought these with, you know, when the IV was extremely high and the IV is coming down. So not sure what the IV you bought these were at, but you're probably getting IV crush. That's probably why your options are losing value. And not sure when your expiry date is, but that also could be a reason why they're losing value. But, you know, honestly, it seems like a good play. You know, if you bought these at like 12 to 10 bucks, eventually this has to recover. So maybe shares would have been a better play. But you did get in at a really good time here. Great entry point. You know, you bought it when it was undervalued. So if you diamond hands, this should work out. Okay, yeah. So you bought shares too. So it's not too bad. Yeah, you know, you got to learn the hard way. I've had to learn this the hard way a couple times. When you buy options, I personally don't buy any options above 100% IV anymore, because I've done that before, and same thing. You know, you get IV crushed. You could buy calls and the stock goes up and you're still losing money. You could buy puts and the stock goes down and you're still losing money, and it's the most frustrating thing ever. So personally, I just don't buy anything above 100% IV anymore. So yeah, shares were probably the better way to go on this play. But yeah, man, that's a great entry point right there. So as long as you hold, you should be okay. For the shares, at least. I don't know when your expiry date for the calls are, but if they're pretty far out, you should be okay on that too. But the opposite of that, it's when the IV is high, it's a good time to sell options. I love doing that. You know, I love selling options on these meme stocks when the IV is like 100, 200, 300%. You make a killing on the premiums. Fat premiums. I sold puts on Clover, Bed Bath & Beyond, Ocugen, Wish. So it's bad to buy options when there's high IV. Good to sell options when there's high IV. July 16th. Well, that's pretty close. That's in 2 weeks. So that might not work out, unfortunately. But that's the way you learn, man. So, you know, so maybe next time, you know, buy them further out. Buy them a couple months out. That's probably why you're losing so much value, because of IV crush and because expiration day is approaching quickly. Yeah, options is no joke. High risk, but high reward too. Okay, back to this. So, you know, I really can't say which way this is going to go, because on one hand, we have the chart telling us that the chart looks pretty bullish. We got the cup and handle forming. We got very large channels here to the upside, a lot of room to run to the upside, and this really can't go down too much. to the downside. You know, it's at $2. How much further can it go down? Not really too much. But according to the RSI and the volume, that would suggest that there's still room to pull back. So we're getting mixed signals here, mixed indicators. But there's a lot of there's not too much risk in going long, and there's a lot of potential reward for going long. Going short, I would not recommend going short. There's really no point. You know, like I just said, not much room to pull back, so you're not going to make that much money. So, you know, I'm just going to stay away from this one. But, can't say which way it's going, but if you do decide to go long, I can support that because there's a lot of potential reward for that. And if you want to go short, I personally wouldn't do that, and I don't recommend that. So that's XELA, Exela Technologies. Still trending, and it's still probably going to be trending tomorrow. Probably still going to be trending next week. Everyone's hoping for a squeeze. Don't know if we're going to get one. But, you know, the apes, the StockTwit apes, are refusing to sell. So maybe eventually we will. Hopefully we will. You know, I'm rooting for you guys, rooting for you apes. Hope everyone makes tendies. Apes together strong, right?
Apes together strong!
So good luck to everyone with an XELA position. All right, next one, MRIN. Okay, here is MRIN Marin software, and just when we thought, you know, this was coming way back down, what happens today? It still has life in it. It's still squeezing. A lot of people thought the squeeze was over. I thought the squeeze was over. It's not over. It's still going. So this finishes at $15.08 today. That's up 40.54%. Okay, and in the aftermarket, I see it's pulling back pretty big. It's down at like 14.30 now. Okay. All right, so right now it's trading between this rectangle, this sideways channel of 17.30 and 13.30. Very wide channel there, so a lot of price action. And probably I might be able to draw another one right here at 15 where it closed today. So if this goes to the upside, next level of resistance would be 17.30 and then the all-time high, or excuse me, and then 18.80 and then the all-time high of $20, which it just hit today. 1995. Just hit that today, all-time high. And if it goes past that, then we're going to go into uncharted territory, and the market will decide for itself. Now, if this goes to the downside, next level of support would be 13.30. I can actually probably draw more here because we got new data. So 13.30, $12, 10.80, 9.30, 8.30, 7.50, and then 5.70, and then there's a lot more below that, but I'm not even going to read those, because this chart is just so ridiculous. So, yeah, Verb Maker, really surprised by MRIN. Yeah, everyone was, you know. Everyone thought this was coming back down. And they're still squeezing it. So, who knows where this is going. Okay, so the RSI is currently at 74. So this briefly came back down yesterday into regular territory below 70 RSI. And today we're right back in there. Again, we're in overbought, overvalued territory. RSI is now at 74. So on the lower end of the overbought, overvalued territory, but at one point this was at 99 RSI 2 days ago. So still in overbought, overvalued territory, but now it's on the lower end of the spectrum as opposed to the higher end, which it was 2 days ago. The volume was 159 million today, which was less than some of the previous trading sessions, but that's still a lot of volume, still significant volume. So, based on all of this, this looks like to me that this is more likely to go to the downside than the upside. Because we have a gap down here. We have a couple gaps, actually, but it blew past a couple of them already. But we have a gap. Oh, we have a gap up. We have a gap up at 750, which never filled, so that might have to fill soon. Like I just said, RSI and the volume are pretty high, so I do expect those to come back down. Well, logically, they would come back down. So it does seem like the stock is going to come back down. And this could go to the upside, but realistically, it doesn't seem like it has that much more room to run. Like, it broke an all-time high today, but just barely. Like, the previous all-time high was about 19 bucks, 1877, 1880, around there. And it went to $20 today and came right back down. And these channels are pretty wide. So either way, if it goes to the upside or the downside, a lot of price action is going to happen. But, just my prediction, and this is not financial advice, I do expect this to pull back to 750 at some point. It seems like it's going to be pretty soon, sooner than later, because of this ridiculous price action. But yeah, very, very surprising. After yesterday, everyone thought this was on the way back down to Earth, and it was coming down, back down to Earth for a second. And today, everyone expected a continuation. Nobody really expected this. Especially like such a high pump. At one point this hit $20. No one was expecting that. So, kind of seems like an anomaly, an outlier day today. Pretty odd. But based on all the technicals, I personally think that this is likely to come back down. It's more likely to come back down than it is to go to the upside. So, not much else to say about that. But even with this huge pump today, things do seem like they're slowly coming back down to normal. RSI is coming back down, volume is coming back down. So it does seem like the price will come back down as well. Slowly, but and we might have a few pumps here and there, but over the next few trading sessions, this is probably going to pull back. Not financial advice. Okay, so that's MRIN, Marin software. We'll have to see where this goes in the next few trading sessions. This will probably be trending for a little while longer. It's been trending all last week, all this week, and probably next week it will as well. All right, now let's do BLIN. Okay, here's BLIN, Bridgeline Digital. This was trending this week. It wasn't trending that much. It was like number 5 to 10 on StockTwits for a little bit. But this is no AMC. This is no MRIN, Torchlight, or MMAT now, Metamaterials. But this was getting attention on social media. And again, today it was getting more attention because it went up so high. So this finishes at $5.75 today. That's up 33.72%. And there was news as to why this went up today. So let's take a look at that. Okay, it says here that its partner network won more than 20 site search licenses this quarter for XELA Bros and HawkSearch, its most recent acquisition. Expansion of our partner network is a key initiative for Bridgeline in 2021. Thanks to our recent acquisition of HawkSearch and its extensive partner network, we have made substantial progress by winning license sales to major institutions and governments that Bridgeline could not have won alone, said the CEO. So it says their current partners are American Eagle, Big Commerce, Magneto, or Magento, Optimizely, Oro Commerce, Salesforce, SAP, and Shopify. So, I guess they're just forming new partnerships, and in turn, they're going to grow as a company. So, very bullish news there. Very positive sentiment. BDRBF. All right, we can take a look at that. So, yeah. That's why the stock was going up so much today. And if it were not for the news, this would probably come crashing down, because it was looking like the stock was on the way down. So, if it wasn't for the news today, this probably would have went completely differently. Anyway, okay. We can probably draw a new line here. So right now it's sitting on this resistance of 575, which is what it closed at today. So if this goes to the upside, next level of resistance would be 615, 675, and then the all-time high of 854. If it breaks 854, if it breaks the all-time high, then nobody knows where it's going. The market will decide for itself. Now, if this goes to the downside, next level of support would be 490. Very wide channel there. 440, $4, and then 360. And then it would fill this gap at 360 because it did gap up at 360. Yeah, so right now, it's trading right now we got these very, very wide channels here. So if it moves to the upside or downside, there's going to be a lot of price action. RSI is at 89 right now, so that's very overbought, very overvalued. The volume was pretty high today. It did 80 million volume, which was not as much as yesterday. Yesterday had the biggest volume day ever. What did it do yesterday? 130 million. But today was the second highest volume day ever, by far. So based on all of that, based on the RSI and the volume and the gap up, I would say this is likely to pull back. Because, again, if it wasn't for this positive news today, this probably would have pulled back pretty significantly today. So, yeah, based on all of that, RSI, volume, gap up, this is a lot more likely to come back down than it is to go to the upside. So if you want to go long, I would caution not to do that. I would recommend not to do that. That seems pretty dangerous. I mean, if it does go to the upside, it's probably going to moon, you know, these very wide channels here. But that's very unlikely that this will go to the upside. A lot more likely this will go to the downside. And then after, if this comes back down to 440, the channels get a lot more narrow, so the price action won't be too crazy once this hits 440. And then, you know, there's pretty strong support at these support levels at 440 and below that. So if you want to go short, I think that's a pretty good play. Not financial advice. I'll even consider shorting tomorrow. It looks like a pretty good short play here, quite honestly. Not sure if I'm going to do it yet, but at first glance, this looks like a really good short play. So yeah, if you want to go long, I don't recommend that. That looks pretty dangerous. Could pay off though, but very unlikely. And if you want to go short, this looks like a pretty good short play. So, I can support that, and I might even do that myself. So that's Bridgeline Digital, BLIN. Big news today. That's why the stock went up. But, you know, this can only stay up this high for so long. So, logically, this does seem like it's going to pull back. So, we'll see what happens with this. There's going to be a lot of price action. You know, very, very wide channels here. So, either way, upside or downside, there's going to be a lot of price action. Going to be very entertaining to see what happens. And good luck to everyone who has a position in this stock. I'm probably going to take one tomorrow on the short side. Okay. BDR, BF, we can look at that. Bombardier, no idea what this is. But penny stock, it was 20 cents not too long ago. Yeah, huge volume day. Huge volume day today. But, it came right back down to where it seems to be, where it's supposed to be. Although the RSI is pretty high. It's at 77. So, overvalued, overbought right now. Likely to come back down. And, you know, a lot of volume today. So, this is likely to pull back. Probably not too much. Did this have news or something? Well, it says here, announces largest business jet order of the year. So, they're going to buy 10 aircraft worth $452 million. And then it says, there's a bunch of news today. They deliver 2 global aircraft to Canadian customers. Global 7,500 aircraft. And then they redeemed senior notes. So they redeemed some of their money. They made some money. They raised some money and took some money out. They delivered some aircraft. And and they received a large order for 10 more aircraft. So yeah, a lot of news today. So that's probably why this shot up so high. A lot of bullish news, positive sentiment. So this wasn't just out of nowhere. This wasn't apes or anything. This was like the market reacting positively to the news. Yeah, Canadian Airplane Company. Yeah, so doesn't seem like much, honestly. They sold 2 aircraft and then they're gonna build 10 more. But hey, that's a lot of money, 452 million bucks. So yeah, that's why the stock is popping so much today. But right now it is overvalued. So I wouldn't buy this right here. I wouldn't go long. All right, ATHE. Okay. Give me a second for this siren to pass. 1 second, guys. Gonna put it on mute. Wow. Still going. All right, that's better. Sorry, guys. All right. So here's ATHE. Alterity Therapeutics. So this is a biotech stock, and this was trending on StockTwits today. Got a lot of attention. Was trending. So this finishes at $2.14. That is up 64.62%. Yeah, verb maker. I live in Manhattan. Yeah, I live in Harlem, New York. How'd you know? No, I'm just kidding. Of course. Yeah, I need to get out of here. Literally, it's every like 5 minutes. It's so annoying. I don't mind, but when I'm doing the show, it's really, really annoying. Need a soundproof or something. Okay. So there was news as to why this stock ran up today. So let's take a look at that. The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office has granted the Australian company a new composition of matter patent that is addressing major neurodegenerative diseases, including Alzheimer's and Parkinson's diseases. The new patent, which confers on Alterity 20 years of exclusivity, covers over 150 novel pharmaceutical compositions. And they're on track to start the mid-stage trial of its lead clinical candidate by the end of the year. So, yeah, basically they were just off. They were granted U.S. patents for, I think it's just one drug, but they were granted a U.S. patent for Alzheimer's and Parkinson's for their drugs. So, good news there. Good positive sentiment. Yeah, Harlem is very expensive now. well, at least West Harlem is. East Harlem is still a little bit run down. Spanish Harlem. But yeah, I live in West Harlem. It is very expensive now. All of New York is expensive, but yeah, a lot of rich people are moving into this neighborhood. New condos are going up. Luxury condos. All these fancy restaurants. The prices of everything are going up in the neighborhood, so yeah. Gentrification at its finest. Alright, anyway. So yeah, positive news today. That's why the stock ran up so much. And it's still going up in the aftermarket a little bit. Alright, so let's analyze this. Alright, so right now it's sitting at the support of 215, which is where it closed at today. So if this goes to the upside, next level of resistance would be 230, 240, 255, 270, 280, 290, 315, 340, 360, 380, and if it breaks 380, it's to the moon from there. Then it's all the way up to the all-time high of 515. Still a ways to go there. And there's a lot of resistance here to break through. But yeah, if it breaks 380, nothing is stopping it from taking off. But that's going to be pretty hard to break through. There's a lot of resistance here. And if this goes to the downside, the next level of support would be $2. 185, 175, 165, 150, and then all the way back down to 135, which would fill the gap. It gapped up today at 135. And then it could go all the way back down to $1, which is the all-time low. Very unlikely, but the low is $1. So yeah, gapped up at 135 today. So with the gap ups, the gaps usually do fill. So this is likely to come back down to 135 at some point. Can't say when, but eventually it probably will. RSI is at 81, so that's pretty overbought, pretty overvalued. And just incredible volume today. Biggest volume day ever. It did 251 million in volume today. And the next highest volume day was like 110 million. So over double the last biggest volume day. So incredible volume today. This was not a fluke. This pump was not a fluke. It was confirmed by the volume. So, there is a cup and handle forming. Very wide cup right here. All the way back from November of last year. Huge wide cup here. So that's a bullish sign. The handle might be forming pretty soon. But, and honestly, it doesn't seem like there's going to be too much price action, because either way, to the upside or the downside, there's a lot of support and a lot of resistance. I mean, it blew through a lot of resistance today, but couldn't blow through all of it. So based on all of this, I would say this is likely to come back down. This is likely to pull back. Incredible run today. But based on the gap up, based on the volume, based on the RSI, this does appear like this is going to pull back. I mean, it could keep on running. That's possible. But there's a lot of resistance to break through. And I really don't think that this is going to go above 350 or 360. because that's where this cup right here, that's the top of the cup, 360. So, oops. So if this does in fact go to the upside, which is unlikely, I highly doubt this is going to break 360. And again, we have this gap up at 350, at 330, excuse me, 135 today. So at some point, this is likely to come back down to 135. See, even way back here in November, it went from $1 all the way to 360. And it left this huge gap up. And eventually, it took it months, but the gap did fill. Took it 6 months, but the gap did fill eventually at $1. So it might take a while to fill this gap at 135, but see, the gaps usually do fill. So based on all of that, volume, RSI, gap up, I would say this is more likely to come back down than to keep running. So, I probably would not long this right here. That seems a bit risky because I don't think it's going to break 360, and there's just a lot of resistance that this is going to have to blow through to even get there. And on the other hand, I probably wouldn't short it either because it doesn't seem like it really can't go that low. You know, it seems unlikely that this is gonna go below 135, or even at 165. That seems like pretty strong support there. So I really don't think this is gonna pull back that much, or we're not gonna see any like serious price action. So this is probably gonna pull back, but you know, we're not gonna get minus 30, minus 40 in one day. So, I mean, I guess if you want to short and hold it for a longer amount of time, that could be a decent play. But in terms of day trading, I just really don't see this. I just really don't see why you would short this. It doesn't really make sense. But there probably is some decent money to be made if you want to short. Just don't expect anything crazy. A lot of support here. And there's really not too much room to go to the downside. So there's probably better opportunities, better shorting opportunities elsewhere. And going long would be really risky. So personally, I just stay away from this one. There are probably better opportunities in the market elsewhere than to go for this stock, short or long. So that is ATHE, Alterity Therapeutics. This was a penny stock not too long ago. An incredible price action today. Seems like it's going to pull back, but who knows? It could go to the upside. Highly doubt it's going past 360. And quite honestly, I don't expect anything crazy to come out of this. I don't think this is going to be another MRIN or anything like that. It just seems like it went up on the good news today. This honestly doesn't seem like a short squeeze or anything to me. Just a lot of positive sentiment, and it'll probably come back down to normal in the short term, in the next few trading sessions. So good luck to everyone with ATHE. We'll have to see what happens with this, but yeah, I think it's best just to stay away from this stock. I don't really see a point in going either way on this one. PBTS. Well, it was trending yesterday and the day before. Well, it looks like a cup and handle right here. See? So, cup was formed. It didn't go to the top of the cup. but looks like the cup is formed, and now the handle is forming. So it looks like it's going to be consolidating right now. It looks like it's going to pull back a little bit, and it's going to consolidate for a little bit. Yeah, volume is coming down. So I would expect some consolidation here, probably between like 220 and 175. And that's probably going to consolidate for a little bit. Can't say how long. But then after that, yeah, there's potential for another breakout. So if you want to take a position in this, I'd probably wait just a little bit and try to catch it when it's like consolidating even more. It's consolidating right now, but it's not like that consolidated yet. So if I were to take a position in this, I just hold off and try to catch it at like $2 to like 175 or something like that. That seems like pretty good entry. And then just hold it until it breaks out again. But I don't think this is gonna squeeze up anytime soon. Probably will eventually, but after consolidation. All right, last one. All right, last one. MEDS, meds. This is TRxADE. TRxADE Health. TRxADE. TRxADE, I think that's how you say it. This finishes at $7.17 today. That finishes up 62.22%. Okay, and there was news as to why this went up as well, so let's take a look at that. I think it's TRxADE. I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway. It said Bonham Health subsidiary will offer telemedicine services to Big Y Pharmacy customers in Massachusetts and Connecticut under a new distribution deal with the supermarket chain. Bonham Health will provide access to its mobile health services and prescriber programs staffed by more than 600 medical providers, as well as prescription discount savings, according to the company. So they have a new partnership to offer telemedicine services. Not quite sure the specifics of that, the details, but you know, good positive news, good bullish news. So, you know, the institutions probably like that, the apes like that, they all piled in, and that caused the squeeze. So, yeah, so this gapped up today from 440. So again, with the gaps, they're likely to fill, so this is likely to come back down to 440 at some point. And right now, it's sitting on the support of 720, which is where it closed at today. So if this goes to the upside, next level of resistance would be $7.50, $8, $9, $9.50, and then the all-time high of $10.82, close to $11. And if it breaks that, then the market will decide for itself. And if this goes to the downside, next level of support would be $6.50, $6, $5.50, $5, $4.80, and then $4.40. I don't think it's going below $4.40. There seems to be pretty strong support there. Okay. So the RSI is currently at 74. So that is in overbought, overvalued territory. On the lower end, though. It could be in the 80s, it could be in the 90s, but it's in the 70s, so not too crazy, but it still is overbought, overvalued. Got a lot of volume today, but not as much as the other day. Not as much as a couple weeks ago when this went all the way up to 11. But this was the second biggest volume day ever. It did 96 million in volume. Almost 100 million. So this was not a fluke. This pump was confirmed by the volume. It looks like a cup and handle right here. Very thin cup and handle. Very tall cup and handle. Not very wide, but still a cup and handle nonetheless. So it didn't quite fill the top of the cup of $11, but it got kind of close to that. It got to $9.50. So now I expect this to pull back and the handle to start forming. So based on all of that information, based on the gap up, based on the cup and handle, RSI, and the volume, I would say this is more likely to pull back than it is to go to the upside. Probably the handle is going to form. It's going to pull back and consolidate for a little bit, and then possibly break out again. But in the short term, this does appear like it's going to pull back. But if this does go to the upside, a lot of potential there for tendies. These channels are pretty wide. Especially if this breaks $8, the channels get very wide. If it breaks 8, it's going right to 9. If it breaks 9, it's going right to 950. And if it breaks 950, it's going right back to the all-time high. So, unlikely that this will go to the upside, but if it does, a lot of potential for tendies there. So, personally, I probably would not long this. I would not recommend longing this. Because, yes, you could make a lot if it does, in fact, go to the upside, but that's just very unlikely. And this looks like a pretty good short play. It looks like there's a decent amount of room for pullback here. So yeah, and based on all the technicals, it does appear like it is going to come back down. So if you want to go long, I would not recommend that. And if you want to go short, I would support that. Not financial advice, but just looking at the technicals, this looks like a pretty good short opportunity here. So I might have to go for this one too, as well. I might be in this one tomorrow on the short side. For a quick buck, looks like a good opportunity here for a short play. So not too much else to say about this one. That is TRxADE Health. We'll see where this goes. This was trending today, but we'll see where this goes in the next few trading sessions. Going to be a lot of price action, either to the upside or the downside, either way. So I'll have to do more work on this later on to see if I'm going to take a position, but this does appear to be a good short opportunity. So good luck to everyone who has a position in this one. Going to be fun to see where this goes. Okay. So that's the analysis for today. Let's get to the Yolos. Okay, so we just got 4 today. Got Palantir, Wish, and SoFi. Alright, so this first one is by KDT 1999. They say from 1,040% gains to 70% in 20 minutes. Thanks, Baidu. June 28th, 200 calls. I know how to screenshot, but not sell. I want to throw up. Clown. Good. Okay. So, no specific play here, but this is a fun one. Yeah, we see here. It was up over 41K. So, you know, all the way from like 4K to 41K. Up 1,042%. And then it goes all the way down to 3,600. Oh no, it went from 3,600 up to 41K. And then back down to 6,200. So yeah, no specific play here, but at least the guy knows. He doesn't know how to sell, which is a problem with a lot of apes. You know, they just diamond hands, and realistically speaking, honestly speaking, diamond hands is not the way. You know, we joke about it a lot. It's a meme, diamond hands, but you guys got to know when to sell, especially when it comes to options. You know, holding through expiration is not a good idea, generally speaking, for buying options. You got to know when to hit the sell button and secure the profits, because statistically, 80% of option buys expire worthless. So you got to know when to sell. You know, if this guy sold, he could have locked in some profit. Maybe not 40K of profit, but, you know, that's pretty nasty. He's still up money, like 2K, like 2.5K, but he lost all that money just because he got too greedy and he didn't want to sell. All you had to do was hit the sell button. You got to lock in some profit at least, you know. At least the cost basis. He could have locked in 4K and then played on house money. Or he could have took out half, you know, 20K, and let the rest ride, but yeah, this is what happens when you don't sell. I'm not diamond hands. I personally don't diamond hands, you know. When I think it's a good time to leave, to exit, I hit the sell button. And that's not always the case, you know. Sometimes diamond hands is the best play, but most of the time you got to know when to sell, especially with options. So here's a great example of that. This had to hurt a lot. Go. So, KDT 1999. Thank you for posting. This is very entertaining. Sorry for your loss, although I guess it's not a loss because you're still up money. You're still up 2.5K, which is pretty good considering you started with 3.5K. That's still a pretty fat gain. But yeah, there goes your 35K gains, your 35K plus gains. But, you know, hopefully you can learn something from this. That's the only way you learn, when you get burned and you learn from your mistakes. So I hope you can learn something from this, and I hope the viewers can learn something from this. You got to know when to sell. You got to know when to lock in the profits. So, sorry for your loss. Well, again, not a loss, but sorry for your loss on your potential gains. That's really nasty. But you're still up green, so can't complain about that. Great content here. Thank you for posting. Good luck to you in the future. Wow. Yeah, that has to hurt. Okay, this one is by Definition Humble. They say Palantir and Wish YOLO. Will I ever see 6 digits again? And we can see here. This account started with like almost nothing. Ran it all the way up to 100K, over 100K. All the rich people moving in Harlem? Yeah, because that's because Midtown and downtown is too expensive now. Harlem is still affordable, but not for long. And then soon it's going to be Washington Heights and then the Bronx. Everything is getting gentrified. Kicking all the poor people out of New York City. Okay. So, we're just going to look at the Palantir right here. This account action looks apish. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't hit the sell button. Again, you got to hit the sell button. You got to lock in the profits. Nice head and shoulders right here. So, we're just going to go over the Palantir. He has CLNE. And Wish, but we're just going to go over the Palantir. So, I'm not quite sure how he blew up his account, but these options look pretty good. You know, got all these Palantir leaps here. Well, this one's probably going to expire worthless. July 2nd, tomorrow, 27.5. Yeah, that's done. Anyway. So, I mean, I like the leaps. I like these plays. January 2022. Got for the 32 call, 22 call, 35 call, 50 call. Maybe 50 is a bit ambitious, but you know, 25 to 35 looks like pretty good plays. And then he has a November call, November 19th call. So, I mean, you know, I like those. Those are leaps, giving himself time for those to work out. Reasonable strikes. I don't know about the 50, but reasonable strikes. So I don't really know what happened here. I don't know how his account blew up. It definitely wasn't because Palantir. Palantir did not like moon and then crash. It might have been Wish and CLNE. I don't know. But this is pretty weird because these look like pretty decent plays. Has most of his money in Palantir. But we see here his account just blew up. So I don't know what happened. But still, you know, started with almost nothing. Like 5K or something. I don't really know. 5, 10K. Was up over 100K at one point. And now he's back down to like 40K or something like that. So still up pretty big. That just really sucks. Blew up his account by half. Over half. So yeah, what can we learn here? Please hit the sell button, guys. Gotta hit the sell button. Know when to lock in the profits. No diamond hands. Don't diamond hands. Well, I'm not going to say never, but, you know, diamond hands usually is not a winning play. Maybe in the long term, yeah, but the smarter thing to do is to sell off at the high, you know, and take your profits. And then buy back in. Where are the poor people living now? Well, they all have roommates. Yeah, if you have like 2 or 3 roommates, rent could be like $600 to $1,000. That's pretty affordable. I mean, I used to live in Syracuse. I paid $1,000 rent, and I had a 1-bedroom with an office, very modern, utilities included, Wi-Fi included, parking space. Yeah, for here to get that the same thing in New York City. A 1-bedroom with office and a parking space and utilities included, that probably run you like 2,000, 3,000. So that's how people do it. They live in the Bronx. They live in parts of Brooklyn. And Queens is pretty rich too. So yeah, they live in the Bronx and they live in Brooklyn. But even Brooklyn is getting pretty gentrified now. Brooklyn is getting pretty rich. Downtown Brooklyn, at least. You know, like Park Slope, where the Nets play. Further out Brooklyn. Well, they live in deep Queens too, like Jamaica. Yeah, poor people live there. Jamaica, Queens. But yeah. The Bronx, Brooklyn, and parts of Queens is where the poor people are moving. They're getting pushed out further and further out to the outskirts of the city. Like, they literally live, like, way outside of Manhattan. Like, it takes an hour or two to come into the city, into Manhattan. Or they have roommates. Either one. New York minimum wage should be $50. Yeah, it should be. That's pretty much the cost of living. You know, in like Kentucky and Middle America, you can live on minimum wage. I think their minimum wage is like $9 or something, pretty cheap, and you can afford, like, you can afford stuff out there like that. You know, rent is like $300-400. Yeah, New York City, everything is expensive. Rent, gas, train, food, everything is inflated. So yeah, people should leave New York, especially because the laws are getting pretty strict too. But that's a whole nother issue. You know, it's nice, great place to live, but way too expensive. Minimum wage is moving to $15 federally. Well, that's really good. But all that means is everything else is gonna go up. You know, price of everything else is going to go up. So, inflation. Yeah, you know, Jay Powell printing the money. 40% of all dollars were printed last year in 2020. Yeah, just, you pretty much have to increase it because of inflation. All major cities are expensive. Yeah, that's true. But you can take, it's expensive in your country, but if you're coming from the U.S. and you move to a different major city, in a third world country, you know, like maybe Asian country or something like that, your money's gonna go a long way. So you could be poor here in the United States and then move to a third world country, and you'll be pretty well off. More people should do that, honestly. All right, this is by Sweaty Difference 317. They say go SoFi $50 or more. All right, so we got here 350 call options for SoFi, $30 strike, expiring July 16th, 2 weeks. This was a 17.5K YOLO. $17,500. And right now they're down almost 5K, down $4,700. That is 27%. So earlier in the day they were up a decent amount, like $3,000, and in one day they lost $7,400. Because SoFi went down so much. What's SoFi at? Yeah, SoFi went down almost 5% today. So that's what happens when you have FDs. You know, price movements like that can cost you thousands of dollars. So, should have cashed out while it was up. Third world McDonald's prices are the same. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, something is wrong with the system. Yeah, I think I saw some documentaries like no one actually eats at McDonald's in third world countries except like tourists, because they're the only ones that can afford it. So yeah, break even is $30. Highly unlikely this is gonna work. Expires in 2 weeks. SoFi is at like 18, 19. So you need over a 50% gain for this to go in the money in 2 weeks. Very unlikely. Um, yeah, this guy, he should have cut. He should have cut before today, before SoFi went down 5%. Then he would have walked away with some profit. Actually would have walked away in the green on an FD that was not likely to work. But you get too greedy. Um, lose $7,400 in a day, and now you're down $4,700. So I mean, I don't like the play. You know, the strike price is too high. I don't like the FD expiry date. That's too close. And this guy could have walked away in the green, but for whatever reason, he decided to diamond hands an FD that's really unlikely to work, and now he's pretty deep in the red. Now he's down 27%. So at this point, what do you do? Yeah, I think you should cut. Maybe you can hold on tomorrow and see what happens tomorrow, and hopefully SoFi bounces, and maybe you can make some money back and possibly escape with a break even. But if this keeps going to the downside, you gotta cut. Well, I would cut no matter what after tomorrow. But maybe tomorrow it'll go back up and you can make some money back. But don't expect any crazy gains from this. You'd be lucky just to walk away, break even. So that's probably what I would do in this tough spot. See what happens tomorrow. If it goes up, great. You can walk away. Not too bad. And if it goes down, you got to cut. Because you're going to bleed a lot of money. Thousands of dollars. But the way you avoid this is not to do it in the first place. You don't make bad plays like this. And it's sad because he was in a really good spot. He was going to be up a couple grand on an FD that had very little chance of working out. So, again, this is what happens when you don't hit the sell button and you don't take your profits. Especially when with options. You got to know when to sell them. So, sweaty difference. 317. Thank you for posting. Great content. Sorry for your loss so far. I mean, it's not over yet, but not looking too great for you. So, what can we learn here? You got to hit the sell button. And don't buy FDs. Don't make bad plays. So yeah, this is really nasty, but I hope you can cut with it. Hopefully you can get to break even, maybe even get a little positive. That'd be great. But if not, yeah, you just got to cut this, so you don't take heavy losses. Already down 27%, and the longer you hold this, the more money you're going to lose every single day. Probably thousands of dollars. So, yeah, at this point, I think you got to cut, unfortunately. So, good luck to you, man. And please post updates. I want to see what ends up happening with this. All right, last one. The rich people can afford McDonald's in poor countries. Yeah, but in poor countries, people don't even eat fast food. Like, I have a lot of friends that are immigrants, and they don't even eat fast food. They don't even know what... If they come from a village, they don't even know what... I mean, they know what McDonald's is, but they don't know what Wendy's or Chipotle or anything like that is. Burger King. Like, McDonald's is the only thing. And I think KFC, too. KFC is pretty popular in other countries. But yeah, the food is better if you just cook it yourself and more affordable. Doesn't really make sense. Oh, this is interesting. This is by the same guy. Sweaty difference? Hold on a second. Is this an update? What's going on here? Are these two different plays? I don't even know what's going on here. I think they're just two different positions. So he had calls for the 30 strike, and then he also has calls for the 20 strike. You hope Bitcoin and crypto makes fair wages. I saw this thing in I forgot what country. Maybe it was El Salvador, but I saw this thing on Vice where this town uses crypto, and it's good because, you know, it's digital currency, but there's a downside too. You know, when it crashes, poor people lose a lot of money, and that's really money they can't afford to lose. So it is good and bad, but mostly good. But yeah, you know, it's revolutionary. MRIN for tomorrow. Well, if you want, you can see the playback, but you know, I would say it's coming back. Personally, bro, Pablo, it's probably better just to stay away from this, but it's more likely to go to the downside than the upside. So it's probably better to short than go long. I think it's going down tomorrow. Because everyone thought it was going down today, and it surprised everyone. This went up today, like pretty big. So, but based on all the technicals, all this stuff here, you know, gap up, RSI is pretty high, volume is pretty high. It seems like it's going to come back down tomorrow, so that's my best guess. Not financial advice, can't say for sure, but I think this is going to pull back tomorrow. MRIN. Alright, so this one is by the same guy. Sweaty difference. Different play here at the 20 strike. This one's a lot more reasonable. Yeah, that's true. People don't have bank accounts. So crypto does help there. But it's pretty cool, you know, like street merchants are taking crypto. You know, it's like you buy some food. How you want to pay? Crypto. Boom. Great. I think that's awesome. Changing the world. Yeah, so the last one was pretty unreasonable. 30 strike. This one is a lot better. This is at the 20 strike. Same thing. Expiring July 16th. Yeah, see, this one has a really good chance of working. Not saying it will, but so far it's at like 19, and this just has to go to 20 to work out. You know, and he was also up today. He was also up before today. Today he's down 1,700. But before today, he was up. But he's only down 550, which is not too bad. Well, I guess it depends how much money you have. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not too bad. That's down 3%. They should pay with Dogecoin because it's stable. Imagine that. I always joke that Elon Musk is going to, you know, once he colonizes Mars, Dogecoin is going to be the official currency of Mars. And I can actually see that too. No, I don't think they take Dogecoin though. Only Bitcoin. Not even Ether. Yeah, see, this is a much better play. He should have took all his shares and made this play instead of the 30 strike. This may not work, but a lot better. Not the biggest fan of this either. But the strike price is very reasonable. 20. You know, not too far out of the money. It's an FD, expires in 2 weeks. I don't like that, but this is a decent play. This is acceptable. The other one is like, oh, hell no. This is not going to work. So, yeah, this one you can hold for a little bit. You can hold this until next week and see how this goes. And hopefully SoFi goes up and you can make a little bit of money here. But big difference between this and the other play with a 30 strike. $10 difference in strike makes all the difference. But yeah, personally, if this goes up and you're in the green again, I'd probably just take the profit and not even risk it. Better to walk away with a little bit of money than to walk away with $0. And this is a 17K YOLO here. So same guy, different position, and the difference in strike makes all the difference. $10 difference in strike. The $30 one, very bad play. This one, $20 strike, decent play, acceptable play. Not the best, but acceptable. And not nearly as bad of a position. So, yeah, this one I think you could hold until next week and reevaluate. But yeah, personally, if this goes in the green, I would cut. And if this keeps going down in the red, you also got to cut. But this one has a good shot at working, much better shot than the other one. So I could support this one. Again, you should have did all your options in this one and not in the $30 strike. But anyway, so sweaty difference again. Thank you for posting. Good luck to you. Hope this works out for you. This one has a much better shot at working. So not too worried about this one. I'm worried about the $30 strike. So, but yeah, thanks for posting. Good luck to you. And please post updates. All right, guys, that's the show for today. Sorry about the beginning. I don't know what happened there. I thought I hit go live. I did hit go live, but for some reason it didn't go live. But thanks everyone for sticking around. Thank you to all the regulars for being here again today. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the new people who showed up to see the show today. I got a lot of subscribers in the past few days, so a lot of new faces. Appreciate everyone. So, anything else before we sign out? Good show. Well, glad you enjoyed it, man. Honestly, I didn't think this was the best show. I'm probably not going to edit the Yolos. And not too much going on in the market except for like MRIN. But I'm probably going to make a play on those biotech stocks tomorrow. Make some money back. But yeah, appreciate you guys. All right, let's sign out. Thanks everyone for watching today. I appreciate you guys. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. You apes already know, diamond hands to the moon. I'm Ty. This is Smarter Gambling. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.